the story behind the death of Erishama is not adding up. It's not adding up. Something is wrong. There is a very big story behind that they are not telling us. You know this boy who died at Seta High School, who is allegedly hung himself for some weird reason. Someone said that he committed suicide because he had asked for 2 million shillings from his parents and they didn't provide that money, so he decided to kill himself. And some other weird information came out. But I have a question. 2 million Uganda shillings. What was this boy going to use it for at school? Isn't it weird? Is it a common practice at this school that students can have this much money? Is it common practice? Or something is fishy that they don't want to expose? Ever since this boy passed away, the untold story that we have heard, there are so many cries that have been put across. You know, the parents are coming up with all kind of cries and they are requesting for information, they are requesting for closure. They are so desperate for someone to take on the investigation. Someone should clearly come up and explain why this boy passed away the way he passed away. Why was there a rush to remove his body? Not even recognizing the fact that from the culture where this boy was coming from, there are some customs and norms that are being followed for someone who has passed away. Why is it that we are seeing an increase in the number of deaths that are happening to our students, to our children who are at school? Have we taken the trouble to find out why this is happening and why we are not acting against it? So, my first concern is that, are our children safe in the hands of these schools? First, the schools are expensive. You pay some big money because any student to be studying at Seta High School, you don't just go there with, simple money. They are paying some good money. So parents expect return on the amount of money they pay. Not to be called that come and pick the body of your child. Secondly, the information given to these schools. Why is it that it is very easy for people who are not even in Uganda, who are living abroad, to access this information? This is confidential information. They know, these people know that information that identifies a person is confidential and you don't just do it in any other country the way they do it in Uganda. But a boy passed away. Before even information is concluded, before even investigations are concluded, allegations are established. When allegations are established, what do we see next? Pictures go on social media, they provide full names, they even provide the class. Who has access to such confidential information? A student who is in a boarding section, a boarding school. That is a question everyone should be asking. Are our children safe in these schools? Why is it that till date, no investigation report has been produced? We have seen reports that in a certain school, I think it's Jovan, that is in Soroti, it was put down, it was destroyed by the parents because one of the children who was studying at that school passed away in unexplainable circumstances. This girl was found in a toilet and they said, enough is enough, we have lost enough children. They decided to destroy the whole school. So this is the extent we are pushing our people, and it shouldn't be happening? Another gentleman claimed that his daughter Josephine passed away while at school. Why should this be happening? Could it be a failure from one of the people at school? Could it be that we have got an outbreak of mental problems in the students in our schools? Because let us face it, maybe our students, our children are going through a particular kind of mental problem that is unexplainable, or that is explainable but we are not acting on it. That is possible. However, this boy who died, Eri Sharma, why are we not receiving an investigation to satisfy the questions of the parents? There is an uncle of this boy who is going from one YouTube to another YouTube to seek for justice for his children, for his child. And it can be done. It's not that this is not possible. It is possible. We are living in a country where laws work. Could it be because this school belongs to one of the big people in the government that no one is going to do an investigation? Why were they rushing anyway? Why did they rush to remove the body from a typical crime scene? How possible is it? Why couldn't they wait for the family to come? They would have waited because it is simple. The family called, they requested, please don't take the body before we come. And they decided to take the body. So you don't even wait for the family to come. You go ahead and do your sham way of doing things. A typical crime scene, you don't respect it. And you want the family to embrace the news. So you bring your child at school. The child is healthy, playing, studying, laughing, and the next thing you receive is a phone call. Oh, your child has died. I brought my son when my son was healthy. And then you expect a phone call, a mere phone call, or a very unsketchy, very, very weird explanation. It's not really nice the way people are losing lives, especially when they are in safe places, because schools are supposed to be safe for our children. Schools are supposed to be safe. But if we are losing students, how do we lose a person and we don't hear anything? Why? There are so many questions. What is happening in schools? It's not the first time we have had problems in schools, and it's like it's deliberate. No reports come out. I remember when fires were taking place all over, you would hear a school, they lost children. You would hear a school, oh, the dormitory was burnt down. And no reports came out. But we continue to watch. We lost a number of students. Property was lost. So these are all questions that we should be asking, and we should be able to receive answers. We shouldn't just let these people be. It's their job to make sure that they provide answers when they are due. They should give us answers. This boy passed away in circumstances that can't be clearly explained. Who is supposed to provide the explanation? The family needs closure. Be courteous enough. Just be courteous enough and provide the explanation. Don't give weird ones. Because just imagine if this was your child. You are at home, you are seated at home and someone calls you. You know what? come and pick the body of your son or your daughter? What would you do? So if you would put yourself in this person's shoes, you would understand the pain of losing a child in circumstances that you can't understand. And if you come out and you try to ask, okay, explain, did this boy have any problem at school? Okay, let us assume it was true that this boy needed 2 million shillings. Did you contact the parent in time? Did this boy had any issues with his fellow students? Why is it that no one is providing any information about the circumstances or about any problems or about anything that this boy might have been facing at a particular time? Because it is not possible for someone to just commit suicide. There are always things, there are always indicators that something is wrong. Something is wrong. There are always those indicators that will point that someone is on the verge of committing suicide, if it is true. I wouldn't say it is not true, because I have ever seen someone committing suicide. I remember when I was in my S1 at Buama High School, I remember one of the boys committed suicide from the dormitory. So it is not something new. But in the past few years, the rate at which we are losing children who are at school is increasing. And the rate at which we are experiencing these problems is not, like, we can't explain it. And there must be an answer somewhere. We just only need to take the trouble and find out. Where is the problem? And if so, we have this problem, how can the parents come in and help? Because a healthy and happy child is everyone's hope. If my son is fine, if my daughter is fine, the school will be happy. We pay money to the school so that our children can be prepared for tomorrow. We are trying to see that the future of this child is being streamlined. But just imagine, parents at this school are not saying anything. No one is saying anything. They are keeping quiet. I don't know whether they are very confident that their children are safe. I don't know whether they are contemplating on what to do next. Because I would imagine if this incident happened, the first thing would be having a meeting between the school and the parents and explain under what circumstances did we lose one of our own students. That should have been one of the top priorities. 2, I would expect to see the school apologizing. The school should have apologized to the public and to explain. They should have put a statement out, but they are very quiet. I think there is a problem. Intentional or unintentional, I cannot explain, but there is a problem and it needs to be addressed. We can't keep on this way. We can't keep on losing people and then we are like it's business as usual. It can't be business as usual when we are losing children. Actually, it is my point of view that we cannot accept any child to lose their life. Any. Even if a baby is born and they die during delivery, we should have an explanation why the baby died. Every life matters. Every life. Not only these people who are walking. We should have an explanation as to why someone lost their lives. Not just saying, oh no, it is normal for us to see deaths. Shouldn't be normal. Who has the explanation? That's what we need. This boy needs justice. We don't know how he passed away. You can't tell us he committed suicide. How did he commit suicide? Did he stay in the room alone? Where was the security people? Where was the warden? You mean the whole dormitory where this boy was didn't have any cameras? Okay, let us accept there were no cameras. You mean there was no warden? There was no someone who did a security check after these students had gone for their preps? You mean no one took the trouble to do a roll call when these people were in their classes doing their preparations? You mean the teacher on duty at night never checked to see that everyone was in class reading? You mean all the prefects, none of them was able to identify that Elishama had not attended preps? You mean the classmates for this boy never identified that Elishama was not attending the preps that day, so let us go back and call him to come? So stop telling stories that are going to be questioned. The question should be, are these schools safe for our children? Not to focus on getting money from parents and then all working hard. They work so hard to make sure that the students are passing with first degrees and B's and A's, but they forget the fact that this is a whole person. A whole person should be handled as a whole person, not just focus on academics. Why do you tell me that, oh, your child is so good in academics, but when the boy comes home, you look at the child and the boy looks so bad in sorry state? When your child is so good at academics, the boy behaves like an animal. So here we lose the touch of creating a wholesome person. And these are all failures created by just a group of people. So in my opinion, Elishama needs to have an explanation on how he lost his life. He shouldn't die like any other person. May the good Lord bless him. I send all my condolences to the family. Rest in peace.